Welcome to Counterpoint. I'm Tanya Granick-Allen. If you live in British Columbia, Manitoba, Ontario, Prince Edward Island, or even Yellowknife, then you are in full election mode. Municipal election mode, that is. Canadians in these areas are electing new mayors and new councillors. But for many Canadians, the race on which there is unusually large focus is the school board trustee election. Whether it's public school trustee or in some jurisdictions, Catholic school trustee, there seems to be a lot of attention being paid this election cycle. And why, you ask? Well, a quick perusal of the news headlines might give you an idea. Did you catch the story of a 6-year-old girl being taught by her teacher that there's no such things as boys and girls? Or who could have missed the story about the Ontario teacher who is a biological male but began identifying as a female and is now wearing huge prosthetic breasts to teach class? That last story actually made international headlines. So there are trustee candidates everywhere who are running against what they see as woke agendas of school boards and the provincial governments. But will there be a sea change at the school board? Will voters vote out the school trustees who they believe have protected and promoted wokeness? Will some Canadian school boards mimic what they saw in Loudoun County, Virginia last fall, where parents rallied together against the teaching of gender theory and critical race theory? Well, joining me now to unpack it all is John Hinton O'Brien, Executive Director of the Alberta-based Parents for Choice in Education, and Dr. Teresa Pierre, President of Parents as First Educators, Canada's largest parental rights group. John, Teresa, thank you so much for joining me today. Obviously, this is a heated issue, and I'm somewhat surprised that there's this much attention being paid. So maybe I'll start with you, Teresa. Is it really surprising? Has there always been this keen interest in school board elections?
No, I don't think so. And I think what happened in the States in Loudoun County is part of it. People now know that can be an issue that can swing even a governor's race. Never mind school trustee elections. That it's this in that case that was critical race theory being taught in the schools. We are seeing such focus on the Halton public school district situation that I'm pretty confident it's going to have an influence on the outcome of that election.
Okay, and that Halton school board is where this teacher with a large prosthetic breast is an employee of, or where he or she teaches at.
That's right.
Okay, gotcha. John, you hail from Alberta. You're involved in sort of the Western Canada elections. British Columbia is having their trustee elections. Again, is there an unusually keen focus this election cycle?
More than usual. However, I should observe that normally the amount of interest shown in school board elections is so very low that it doesn't take much to move the needle on school board elections.
Okay, and when you mean so very low, meaning less turnout than, say, for mayor or for councillor?
I mean that a fraction of the people who vote for mayor will vote for school trustee in a normal year. And that's smaller than the number of people who will vote for a federal or provincial election race.
Gotcha. So maybe to unpack a little bit more for the audience, Teresa, maybe you can just generally explain what is the role of school trustee? Because some of our viewers might say, well, we know we vote for them, but we really don't know what they do. So what do you see as the role of the school trustee?
Yeah, why do we care? So school trustees are, they have an inner look at the operations of the school board, meaning they set policy on how the large issues of the school are going to be the school board are going to be decided. They also have an outward focus on the community. They need to liaison with other levels of government and advocate for their board. They talk to local organizations that are involved, that may share an interest in school properties or things like that. So they have that, and then they need to be responsible for the schools in their own ward. So they need to visit them and work with the parents on the parent councils, be familiar with all of the staff and in communication with them. So it's quite a multi-level job and keeps them busy.
Yeah, certainly so. And after we come back for commercial break, because we're going to pause in just one moment, I think a lot of parents want to know, well, we hear a lot of debates about curriculums. who's actually in charge of setting that curriculum, and does a trustee actually have any authority over that? Can they actually affect change?